Wood has a slow start, but it's a brilliant level overall, and a long one at that. One that I'm quite keen on. And all in all, the first level on this list Welcome one, welcome all, to yet another video on Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex. You guys showed an absolutely crazy amount of love on my 2021 levels ranked video over the holidays, and due to a couple of comments about the bonus or secret levels, today we'll be shortly revisiting Wrath to rank them. That are, spoilers, definitely not worth getting 25 relics for. If you're watching this video before watching my main levels ranking video, I would highly recommend you go and give that a watch before carrying on here, as this is kind of a part 2. Levels will be given a 0.5 decimal number that indicates it's between two levels listed in the original ranking. I'll put my first rankings video in the cards and drop a link to it just in the description. Other than that, it's probably worth mentioning that this list is of course my own opinion. My thoughts and feelings towards things change over time, so don't expect me to strongly agree with this list in the future. And feel free to disagree with my list, comment your own rankings down below. It'd be great to take a look at everyone's picks. But with no further delays, let's get straight into these rankings. Ghost Town is just a level, I guess. Well, no, it's not even that, because you can beat this level without pressing any controller input. Thematically, well, the bonus warp room doesn't necessarily have a theme, but it's very similar to the Gold Rush level. It looks nice, and is essentially a tour of a well-collected set piece. I mean, considering this level's below Seashell Shenanigans, I'm being awfully generous here, aren't I? But that's mostly because Seashell Shenanigans has unfair gameplay in a gloomy, boring environment. Ghost Town's gameplay isn't unfair, but simply absent. The main objective is to beat Crunch in a race here to get the gem, but if you can beat Crunch while asleep, then is it really an objective? I think I've said enough here. Right, let's move on. Now we have the true final level in Wrath of Cortex. Force of Nature lets the player take control of Coco, snowboarding along a mountainside this time. The level isn't particularly interesting or fun, save for a few out-of-season Christmas trees. The level's just snowy and that's kind of the end of it. Nitro boxes and skiers flesh out the hazard count for this level, and when this is combined with the lack of original platforming, it becomes a bit stale and honestly a chore to go back and play. These levels are thankfully more bite-sized experiences, so the burden isn't a heavy one at all. Take Avalanche, remove the first half of the level, the gates that you ski through, and the hazard, and you have Force of Nature. Pretty mediocre overall. Still here, below number 20, we have Ice Station Bandicoot. Yet another movie reference, but I get this one this time, and I love it. Not enough to give it a meaninglessly inflated score though. Ice Station Bandicoot is very similar to Ghost Town, but you have to actually play the game. It's ranked higher than Force of Nature because of its uniqueness, which to me is more than enough of a reason. It isn't ranked any higher than 20 though because it's still pretty bland, admittedly. You get to use the helipack again, which is a cool way of bringing it back. You have to race this bear on a magic carpet while moving through all the rings in the stage, and breaking all boxes if you'd like, which honestly isn't much more effort. This level kinda just comes and goes, in a very similar fashion to Force of Nature and Ghost Town, but the next level should offer this list a welcome change of pace. Nighttime is an interesting one because I actually really enjoy this level, probably because it's a reskin of the Gauntlet and I absolutely adore that level. There's nothing crazy going on here. You play through a level very similar to level 16, but as Coco this time. The level is dark, or supposed to be, and you do what Crash Bandicoot's all about, you know, you follow the classic formula, you jump, break boxes, spin, that sort of stuff. The music here too is absolutely amazing. Shout out to the Deviant Crustacean for that one. I didn't think much of this soundtrack at first, but after kind of tuning into it and giving it a listen, I think I've been able to appreciate it more. And while on that topic, Wrath of Cortex has some incredible pieces of music that I frankly haven't done justice in any Crash Bandicoot video or any video on my channel. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know down below. Anyways, this level is ranked ever so slightly below Droid Void in my overall rankings, and honestly, I could put this in the exact same spot. I'm going to refrain though, because I have a slight bit of personal love towards Droid Void. I don't really have to justify it further, this is my list after all. And finally, let's take a look at my favourite secret level in Wrath of Cortex, which isn't really a surprise at this point, there's only 5 of them. Solar Bowler is the best ball level in Wrath of Cortex, in addition to being the best secret level. It's a very simple point A to B, like the other ball stages, but what makes Solar Bowler different is its setting. It's literally in space. It gives me very big Rainbow Road vibes. If you make the smallest mistake, then you're out. The space theme is of course established in the main levels, but none of them quite use it to this extent. And as with all of the ball levels, the Crash 3 bosses have been demoted to stage hazards, which sucks, but I can't really comment on that further while looking at this level in particular. The map geometry plays quite well into the hazards though, it bottlenecks the player at pivotal points, and it has these seesaw-like platforms, which remind me of those marble games you played when you were younger. Honestly, top class. And just like Nighttime, the music here is also amazing. You may recognise it as the credit theme at first, if you've never got the 20 relics to unlock this level, but that doesn't make it any worse. And I think I've said enough. Solar Bowler is just my favourite level out of these 5 here, and I'd probably put it in my top 10 overall. I think compared to the others, it's just leagues above them. Ghost Town's pretty shit. Force of Nature is also pretty shit. Ice Station Bandicoot, I like a little bit, but I'm not too sure why I like it. It's weird. Nighttime is pretty good. I can go back and enjoy a good time on Nighttime, and yeah, I'm not going to say any more about Solar Bowler. And that just about concludes this video. Massive shout out to the Deviant Crustacean and Greg Cubed for suggesting that I take a look at the secret warp room. And thank you, the viewer, for watching. If you're feeling generous, then I'd really appreciate a subscribe, it helps the channel out a lot. A link to the Discord server will also be in the description below, as per usual, and some other stuff of mine will be on screen shortly for you to go and check out. My name is Flynny, and this has been a brief return to Wrath of Cortex to rank the secret levels. Thank you for watching and take care.